Well, good morning from the farm. It's December 29th, about 11 a.m. or so. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year coming up. Hey, we got a lot of rain recently, like 6 inches in one day. And it's wintertime here, not cold yet. We've been kind of warm actually. But that's coming. We know it's coming, right? And so the fog is about burned off. Earlier today, we couldn't even see the little water down there. We couldn't see the road. Couldn't see my bees down there. So today, what we're going to work on is making some more of those. I got some more I got to put together. I got 2 more to put together, actually. And so I think there's 10 colonies down there. One's in a double, and the rest are in singles. And I got 3 more up on the hill, which I got boxes here for them. And when we walk over here and show you these, so this is what we're going to put together. We're going to walk through it here in a minute inside the shop. Yeah, it's a mess over here. Sorry, but we're still trying to clean stuff up after all the building we've been doing. So these are Apimaye kits for wooden hives. I think is how they say it. So I put these 3 together a couple weeks ago. And so what they do is they give you the top, the bottom board, and really neat in the latches, of course, so you can latch everything down. Really cool. Now this is an actual full Apimaye, so it's their insulated system. I got 2 supers, 2 deeps here, and 1 honey super on right now, and I got another honey super in the shop in a box. Got that used from somebody had bees for 1 year, and I guess they didn't like it, so oh well. Thankfully, it was cheap, because those things are not cheap, but the ones I bought were cheap because they were used 1 year. Probably only a couple months. And so that worked out for me. So we're gonna go inside and walk through this process. And I'm getting a lot of mud on my shoes, so I'm gonna have to find a place to knock all that mud off here in a minute, because it's a lot. That concrete wash, you gotta put that down before you put down the asphalt millings, otherwise you get this mud. So anyway, didn't do that right here by the shop. So let's walk into the shop here. It's a little bit of a mess right now. I got some music playing, sorry, but that's my Christmas music right now. Robert O'Keefe, Merry Christmas. About the end. But anyway, so what we're doing is we're putting up some Christmas stuff we bought this year, getting it in containers. We got a couple here. Some more here, some more stuff here. We got a lot of empty stuff and packing material over here. All that's gonna go up there. And yeah, we're not gonna make a video about that. So anyway, let me turn down this music before I get in trouble from YouTube, but I got it on my other iPhone. Anyway, we'll see it playing real low in the background, so I gotta have music when I'm in the shop, sorry. So this is what we're gonna work on. So up there, I got some boxes already put together from last time you saw those videos. And I still got more to put together. I can get that working on here pretty soon. And this is what they are, right? This is one we put together, 7/8 inch thick instead of 3/4. So I got an 1/8 of an inch larger box. Now this is our template that we have to do this. And so we have measurements we've laid out and we know what we're going to do on it. So this is our setup for the Apimaye. This is our entrance reducer. There's a green one, got green, so you got different colors they come in. You can specify what colors you want if you need to. This one's got green on it. Landing board. We'll put that over there. And this is for the landing board closer, which we'll show you in a minute. And let's see here. Then we need to pull the pollen trap out, which is this. Because normally what happens is when you've got pollen traps in here, you only want to do it for a couple of days at a time, and especially not in winter though. The bees will have to, when they come in here, it forces them to come underneath here, then up, and it knocks off the pollen. So you don't want that right now. So we're going to pull that out of the way. Set it over here out of the way. And then, if you pull this one out, you got a pollen catch. So whenever you want to collect your pollen, you slide this out, you got this catch right here. So you pull that out, empty it into whatever container you're carrying your pollen in. You can put it back in if you want to. I would not do it very often though, because bees need a lot of pollen. Now this is a screen board at this point, a screen bottom board. If you want to close it, keep it closed, which during the wintertime you do, you put the other board back in. It makes it a great closed bottom board at that point. Also, if you wanted to, you could put the DE in here, dicotymus earth, whatever, however you call that stuff. And when you put that in here, and then that way when they chase hive beetles down, if you got hive beetle problems, they'll chase through here, they'll fall into here, and they'll just like eat them up, right? So since I took the pollen trap out, I gotta close this off because I don't want the bees going in this way. I want them using the front entrance. So put the little red tab in there. Now this is all closed off. They have to use the front. That way if you need to close them in for something, you can with this. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Now what we want to do is go ahead and start assembling to put this box on here. So the key is you put your entrance reducer on first. And the reason I'm doing another video is the first one was really hard to get on for some reason. This one we're in really good. Make sure we're all the way down on both sides. Then what we do is we put our box on there. This is the bottom, so that goes down. This is the top because this is where my frames sit. So once I have this sitting here, I've got 2 screws on the front here. So you want to screw that in first. You want to make sure you're all the way up and you got a good position on the board that you're kind of even in there because like I said, my box is a little bit bigger. And then you sit there. Now these are regular screws. I got to change my bits. I'm using a square bit right now. So let's go get this bit on there. Got to put my glasses on so I can see better what's going on here. So that's one of the mistakes I did a while ago. So for this, I back this off a little bit because the screws always sit a little bit crooked in there. And we look at both sides, not too much. So I just gotta make sure I get this set really, really good. Not have to be perfect. Bees will close off areas with their propolis. So we set that in there. Set that guy. Make sure I'm not too much in the way here. I'm not very good left-handed. Okay. So we got that in, okay? Next thing I want to do is flip it all over and screw the bottom in. Screw in from the bottom. Be careful as it will move on you. Now, come over. Now down here, there's 4 screws. There's 2 on each side right here. And then there's 2 here. So there's 6 total screws here, but there's 2 on each side and 2 on the front. And so what I want to do is go ahead and screw down these 2 right here first. And they're the front side, so put them in. Once you get them in, check for gaps. We've got this closed up right there, which is what we want. Then on these, you want to, right now you see there's 3 holes down in there. And my board hangs out a little bit. So I'm going to go to the 3rd hole on there. But I need to get my magnet to get that screw out. So I got my reach-in magnet here. Pull that screw out. So you see there's 3 holes down in there, right? See? You got a little bit, and you got inside, you got outside. I'm going to the outside one. So it's going to be hard for me to hold this camera and do this because my bits are not magnetic. So holding the camera here, so just ignore all the shakiness going on. But let me get this screw in here. So I got it in that furthest outside slot is where I'm putting it at, all right? Yep. So let's put that in there. Got that one. Same thing on this back one. I want to move it over. Oh, I was going to be able to do it. I'm running low on battery right now. I'll put another battery in here in a minute. So. Okay, we're in that outside slot. Go ahead and drill it in. That was not going to tighten down very good. But anyway, so that'll work though, because the bees are going to propolis this thing down. I mean, it's not a problem. You just want it to hold, right? So that's holding. Anyway, let me pause the video for a minute. I'm going to change the battery. We're going to do the other side now. We're going to spin it around. Back these out. A lot easier when I'm not holding the camera. And then this one gives me trouble. Look for gap. See if I need to go. See if I can get a little bit tighter. I think that's good. All right. So at this point, this one, the bottom's on. We still need to put this guy on because we got to do one other part on the front here. So you put this on, you got to go in at the same time pretty much, or bend a little bit, either way. You want to make sure you go, these two tabs go in these slots here. That way it sits like that. And what this does is now I got this thing here. So let's say I want to move my bees, right? Or I want to close them up for some reason. See, right now they can go in here in the bottom. They can go through these little slots, right? So at night I would go out there, close this. Now they can't get out. And they're getting air though. And the top has mesh on it, on the air vents on each side also, that they cannot get out. The only way in and out of this is if I open this now, okay? Now you can actually close this if you want to, all the way. But my God, I would not do that in the summertime in Texas. I always move them with these open because they're gonna get hot in there. So what this does now, it lets me come in here like this and put this guy on here, and you close it like this. So what I gotta do is screw this guy on now. Now you don't want to go all the way down to the bottom to rub right here, so you'll never get it opened or closed. And these screws are always sitting here a little bit crooked, so you got to back them out first. And what I try to do is just a little hair gap. And get this one off. Not too tight. See right there? That opens. Want to close it? Close it. Perfect. That works. So we're good there. Okay, next thing to do is the top. We're going to put the top on. The latch, or the latches for the top, I should say. So let me get the top. You want to do the latches with the top. Now I got my template. My template over here shows me I need to be 9 inches from each side to make it work right. Okay? So let's find latches. Here's a bag of latches and accessories and everything. So I bought some of these so I could do like double deeps also and honey supers, things like that. Which we're going to be building honey supers here in the next couple of weeks. So we'll have a video on that pretty soon. Now the latch assembly is like this. So I have this, goes up like that. And you got 4 screws. Now let's see what type of screws we got. Okay, they're square heads, so that's good. So that's what I got over. I got a bit over here for that. And so we only need this. This is all we need: 4 screws, the handle, and the latch. Then what I got to do now is I got to change out my bit to the square bit, and now I'm ready to go. But I've also got to mark, and I also got to have my gauge here. So I don't need, now always what I do is I mark from the top one. The top one is used when you don't have feeders in. The bottom one right here is used when you have feeders, okay? Don't do it wrong because you will mess this thing up bad if you do. If you go to the top latch with a feeder in there and try to crank it down, it's just gonna bend this thing back and it won't stay tight no more. So, have your marker ready. Go over here and say 9 inches, roughly. Now you need to slide this back and forth too. And then go and hold down once you get to 9 inches. You want this thing to be tight. And you will get marker on you, don't worry. It'll come off eventually. So mark 4 dots. Oops, right there. Right there. Right there. Make sure you're holding pressure on when you do that. That's an identifier mark for this colony. Here you go. Close that back up. So now we got our 4 holes. 4 holes to drill. We got to drill 4 little mini pilot holes. Use a drill bit that's sunk in pretty good into your drill. You don't want to go all the way through the box. It don't matter if you do, but it's okay. Drill your 4 holes. Let's see here. Try to drill straight. Don't go crooked. There we go. We got 4 holes drilled. Then what you do now is you take the latch and the handle, put it up here, and you say, okay, am I sitting good? Yes, I'm sitting good. I'm pulling down real good. Then what you do is you get your, see that right there? That's a square bit. This is one. Put it on it real good. Don't forget to put this latch in, the handle in, with the latch. Because you'll have problems later, trust me. Okay, that screw don't like me. Okay, so I do is I don't put in these top ones all the way. I just get them started. There's a reason why. We'll cover that in just a minute. You want to make sure we don't need that right now. But just don't forget to put it in a minute. Okay, like that. Now we need to put it back in. Okay, so we got good set right here. So all we gotta do now is we can lift this guy up. There's another screw in there, see that? It just fell out of there. Always check that too. There'll be screws all over under everything in here. So what I do now is I just come over here, get these started. Okay, so pull that down, check it, make sure we're okay. Real tight, so that's good. So now I know I can put these in. Maybe. You kind of got to hold it with your thumb and do all kinds of stuff. Okay, so let's check it now. Top latch, boom. That's good and tight. This moves, that's where we want. We want it to come straight to there and then down. So that side's good. So let's go to the other side. Okay, same thing on the other side. You gotta make sure sometimes they put regular screw heads, Phillips in here, and sometimes they put the square heads. So just check, that way you're not confused later. We're gonna need a marker. Have it ready. So same thing. Don't really need that on there yet. We'll put it on in a minute. Check. Make sure we're close to 9. Yes, we are. Pull down real tight. Put your little drill where you're going to drill at. Move that out of the way. Close your marker up. Get your little drill again. Yeah, I'm putting weight down here just to hold the box, not really to do anything. No. So. Okay, so those are drilled. We'll get back over here. So top bracket, that's where we want to be on. Let me find a better bit, a better screw. Yeah, I got a lot of gunk on this one now. So just lightly put it in there. Okay. There we go. Now we can set these in. Oh, don't forget the handle. You'll be not too happy with yourself later. Okay. Now these screws you do want in are pretty good because that's what's going to hold your handles when you're lifting the heavy weight, so over 100 pounds. So. Okay, so they're good. So that's good and tight. So now we check the lid. It's tight. That's what we want. That's what we wanted right there. So let's take it off. We're going to put feeders in. Because we are going to put feeders in our boxes right now. And the reason why is because as soon as we put these things in the service, we're going to be feeding either whether it's splits or something. So what I got, I go with the 2-piece feeder. That way, when I want to feed patties, I can feed patties in one, I can feed liquid in the other. You just gotta make sure that you turn this the right way. So the deep side of the tall side, if you want to do syrup, you put that like this. If you're gonna feed pollen cakes or patties or whatever you want to call it, fondant, whatever, or sugar cakes, right? Sugar board. You put it there in the candy. It says candy on one side, it says syrup on the other. And what it does, the candy one lets them come and get out into here. The syrup one only lets them go up and down right here to get to the level of the syrup. And there's little grooved areas here so they have their food in and stuff like that. Now what I do is I standardize on saying, when I do this side is always going to be pollen patties, cake, whatever you want to call it, candy boards. whatever. So I always put candy on this side. And on this side, this is the top, it goes on here, keeps the bees from coming up and getting you when you open it. Really cool, when you want to feed them, you know, you can go in there real quick and get them fed and get out. Now this one here, I always put for syrup. This side, I'm from the back, standing from the back. This is how I standardize mine. So syrup, I'm gonna put the long edge out. Long edge out, that way they don't get in there and drown. Good thing about that is when I want to put more syrup in here, they're not gonna be up in here. I come here and pour it in, I don't have to worry about no bees up here. And then I sit there and put this in, and now I'm good to go. So let's test our latches on this. Now there's 2 positions on these latches. Okay. This is the top, this is with no feeder. This one is with feeder. So we got feeders in now, okay? It feels kind of loose there right now, but wait. Same thing on this other side, we're gonna put it in there, boom. A little slack, but not enough to worry about. The good thing is now, I can move this thing around, do whatever I want. So anyway, that's how you put this together. It's simple, easy, and man, you know, by the time you were to price out pollen traps, bottom boards, interest reducers, screens for preventing escapes, feeders, what else? DE trays you can put in there and put, you know, dichomatous earth, whatever you want to call it, I don't know how to say it. And latches, you're way beyond what this costs you. And you get an insulated lid, so that will not rot on you. It's a good deal. This is what we're using now, what we're switching everything to. Like I said, we'll have, what, 15 colonies in these this year. And we got a full Apimaye out there also we bought used. We'll have a colony in that one also and show you how that works later. But yeah, so we're good. We're ready to go with these. I got the other one right there we did a while ago. I think this one here went a lot smoother, so we'll probably use this one in the video of showing you how it puts it together. But I love these things. You open this up, you can have wide open. If you just put this colony in there, you can go down to 1 or 2 if you want. In wintertime, I think most of mine I'm running right at 2 on each side right now because it's been kind of warm. And, you know, they're going to propolis anything in there. The only thing I want them to do is get some bees caked up in there, and then they can't get out if they need to. But I checked them, they've been going in and out. One thing you might have to do sometimes in the spring is go down there and pull these 2 screws off, pull this out, clean any dead bees out or anything that's blocking the way, and then set it back in real quick, and you're good to go. So that's how this works. It works really good. And you know, I think this is just clever as can be. Yeah, you can do it with non-Apimaye if you wanted to, but you're gonna be spending more money, I think. So, and this just works. Anyway, hey, we'll catch up with you a little bit later. Yeah, there we go. We'll catch up with you as we get more going here. By the way, we are, I think I mentioned this on another video, we are changing the name of our place. And I mean, I don't know if I want to announce it yet because we don't have our web page set up. Facebook page is kind of there, but not started yet. We've got a placeholder for it. We did register the name with our, I don't know what they call it, Texas Apiary Association, whatever it is here, the state. So it's registered with them. We actually got our number we can put on all of our boxes. We need to get a brand built for that, so we just go through and brand them real quick. So all of our boxes will be branded with our actual apiary number on it, and that way it identifies all of our equipment. And we'll get a smaller brand to do our frames eventually, and be able to go through and do our frames too. So that way, if somebody gets one of our frames, they want to know more about us. Hey, look us up. But maybe next video we'll be ready to release the new name of our farm here. It's gonna be pretty cool, pretty exciting times. Anyway, check y'all later.